Hi, in this video, I want to show you how to calculate a binomial distribution probability in Excel. Now, first thing I want to cover is what is a binomial distribution. In this particular Wikipedia article, it talks about a binomial distribution with parameters n and p. It's a discrete probability distribution of a number of successes in a sequence of n independent experiments, each asking a yes or no question and each with its own Boolean valued outcome. Well, that was a lot. But if we were to put it in plain English, what would that be? Basically, we are talking about the probability of a success or a failure outcome in an experiment that is repeated multiple times. All right, so that probably is a very succinct and brief description of what a binomial distribution is. So what's an example? Well, when you toss a coin, it only has two possible outcomes, either a heads or a tails, most coins. Now, there are certain criteria that a binomial distribution has. The number of repeated observations or trials are independent. That means that the outcome of one trial doesn't affect the outcome of others. When you toss a coin, if you get heads on the first one, it's not going to affect the outcome of whether you get heads or tails on the second time you toss it, the second trial or observation. The second criteria we're going to talk about is each trial has only two possible outcomes, right? It's either a pass or fail, in this example of a coin toss, heads or tails. So in most cases, you're either talking about a success or a failure. If you're just looking for heads in your coin toss scenario, that would be your success. Tails would be your failure. So you have to think of it in that way. That's why it's called binomial. The bi is 2. Now, also, the probability of success is the same on every trial. So the probability of getting a heads on a coin toss is 50%. On any subsequent tosses, that probability of getting heads is also 50%. So that's what that means. So some of the typical questions you might answer in a binomial experiment or binomial distribution experiment is what we have here. What is the probability of getting 4 heads if I flip the coin 10 times? You know the probability is 50%, but what is the probability of getting 4 heads if I have 10 trials, 4 successes if I have 10 trials? Another example could be, let's say 70% of people entering an ice cream store and then purchasing some ice cream are men. If 10 customers are in an ice cream parlor that are selected, what's the probability that 4 are men? So we do have our observations, our trials, that is 10. We have our successes, we're looking for 4 successes, and we have our probability. Now this third one is another typical question we can have. There's a 20% chance that a new attendee to a Toastmasters meeting, Toastmasters is a speaking improvement group. They're a nonprofit organization, help you with your presentation skills. Very good organization. Now let's say that there are 3 members that are coming to a meeting. What's the probability that one person will decide to join? I can probably say this is not members, these are guests. 3 guests come to the meeting. So what's the probability that one will join and become a member? Let's use this particular question for our 4 examples. So let's go to example 1. Now we have that question again, and we have our 3 arguments that we're going to put in there. So our observations and trials are 3, right? So we're having 3 observations, 3 members. The success equals to 1. That's our x. What's the probability that one person will join? And we're given this particular percentage. This is just kind of an arbitrary percentage just for this example. Let's say that it's 20%. Now, the easiest way that we can do it in Excel is there actually is a binomial function. It's called binomial, and we're going to use the binomial.dist, the distribution probability. And all you need to do is plug in numbers. Sorry, number is the success, right? We have 1 success. What are the trials? That's 3. What's the probability? 0.2. And what's the cumulative? Actually, I probably should bring up the window here for the function argument window so it's a little bit better. It gives you a bit more insight on the different arguments that are in this function. So we have our number, that's the number of successes. We have our trials. what are the independent trials or observations, our probability, the probability of success on each trial, and this cumulative argument. So our cumulative argument is going to be false because we want to use the probability mass function. Click OK. And we have 384. So 38.4%, that is the probability that one person will join based on this meeting. So that's using the binomial function. Let me show this function. Right, that's the binom.dis function. Now that's the easiest one, right? But let's say you wanted to be more ambitious and you wanted to see how this works. Well, this is the formula that we use to calculate all that. Basically, this n pound or this n bang or exclamation mark is n factorial. And so what it means is if you put a number in front of it, you have 1 factorial, which is 1 multiplied by nothing. 2 factorial, 2 times 1. 3 factorial, 3 times 2 times 1. So basically, you're multiplying the descending numbers of that particular number for your product. So in our case, let's figure out this part of it, the n factorial part. That's n minus the x factorial and then x factorial. And then we'll figure out the p with the to the x power and q n to the x power. Let's divide it into these 3 segments. Now there is a function in Excel that lets you do the factorial, and that is called the fact function. So I'm going to do FACT, and the first number is that one. That's our n, 3. All right? But it has to be divided by n minus x pound and x pound. So I'll put divided by, open parentheses, n is my observation, 3, minus my x, my success, 1, and that has to be wrapped in a factorial. So I forgot to wrap that. Press tab. And we need to multiply that by x factorial, which is our success. And that's going to be fact 1. Press enter. So that's going to give us 3. So that's the first one. Our second one is p. And p is our probability of success. So that's going to equal 0.2 to the power of x. So caret sign gives me the power. X is my success. That's 1. Press enter. That will give me 0.2. My third one is q. And q basically is 1 minus p. That is my non-success, right? So the probability of success is 0.2, 20%. The probability of failure is the 1 minus that, because it has to be equal to 100%, right? So it's going to be 0.8, 80%. So the q is going to be 0.8 to the power of n minus x. So n is 3, my observations, minus my success. Press enter. And we're going to have that 0.64, and we just multiply all these together. I can say that times that times that, which should give me 0.384, which is my 38.4%. So that's how you figure it out if you want to get a little ambitious and use the probability distribution formula. Now, if you still want to be kind of ambitious, there's also a third way we can do it. And one way we can do it is kind of draw a tree diagram, but another way we can do it is put it into tables. And we have these tables, right? And these tables give us our different scenarios, right? We have 3 attendees, and what we want to say is 1 joins. So we can say attendee 1 joins, right? Or attendee 2 joins, or attendee 3 joins. And joining, the probability of success is 0.2%. Not joining is the probability of non-success or failure, which is 0.8. For each of these, once we input the probabilities, we have to find the product there. So this is going to be this times this times this, or I can use the product function and select it. This would probably be the easiest, using the product function. Select it, press enter. I have a product of 0.128. It's going to be the same for this one. Product function, press tab to open it. Select these cell ranges, press enter, 128. And the same here, product. Press tab to complete that. Select that, press enter. And I just need to sum all this up together. Equals sum. That one, press the control key to select discontinuous cells. L6, L12 and L18, those cells per center, and we've got our 38.4%. So that's the probability there. So that's that way. And the last way we can do it, and this kind of applies if we have kind of a short or a small data set, is to use a binomial table, right? So we had our observations n equals 3, our success equals 1, our probability of success equals 0.2. If I just Google for a binomial table, I will find a bunch of tables here. Let's look at the first one here. Maybe this will give it to me. And that's kind of small. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's see. This didn't work because n is 8, n is 9. No, we had an n of 3. So let's find n of 3. Here we go. So we have an n of 3. Our x is our success, which is 1. And then our probability of success is 20%. So n of 3, x is 1, probability 20% gives us 0.384. So there we have our binomial table. So this is another way that we can get the probability for our binomial probability question. Let's go back to our Excel. So there's our 4 ways we can do it. You can see we've got the most easiest ways using the binomial function. Another way, if you want to be a little equally ambitious, is to use the formula and figure it out. And our third and fourth ways are to, and this kind of like has you putting in the different scenarios and plugging it out. And this one is using the binomial table. Of course, example 3 and example 4 are a little harder to do when you have larger amounts of observations, right? Because as you see, then if you had a different trials, if we had scenarios up to like scenario 100, or if we apply scenarios or observations up to 100, you can see both the binomial table and doing it this route or adding these tables would be kind of cumbersome. So either doing it via the binomial function or the binomial.dist function, or just doing it via the formula would probably be the better way to do it if you had large sets of numbers. And by far the easiest, of course, is our function here. But if you were ambitious, using example 2, using the formula here, probably would be another way to do it. So there you go. So there are the couple ways that you can perform a binomial distribution probability calculation. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.